These are mushrooms. I'm gonna take these off because I use them for my broth, my vegetable broth. Alright, so we're just gonna peel off, separate all of these. So let's cut it up in fours. Just giving the Rasta pasta a chunkiness to it. Right? Instead of 2 bags of the pasta, I'm using 1, so I decided to split it in half. Let's use some leftover bell peppers so we can get the colors in. So green, which I went over on Instagram what each of the colors mean. All right. And we're going to use yellow, or call it gold, whichever one you want to. Basically using like half of each, up to half of a bell pepper of each of these colors. All right. Alright, there's a lot more red. See. Next we're going to use some onion. I cut this in half. I was going to make this yesterday, but I decided to make something else. So this is half of an onion right here, and we're going to just cut the rings. You can cut them however you like. You cut them in half. About that much. And I'm going to take this for my broth, this section right here. So put this away. So we're done with the onion. So I had to cut off some off of my green onion scallion. So I'm going to use that. Oh, the smell is so strong. Let's do some garlic. Understand that I don't cook the same way every single time. Certain things change up. It depends on what I have and how I feel. Okay. I'm no chef. Never claimed to be one, so do whatever you gotta do better than me. Okay, so I'm going to add some oregano because I like oregano. And of course, thyme. And that is it. Since we decided, or I should say since I decided to make this meal oil free, I'm gonna use the tomatoes first instead of cooking it in there. Okay, so I'm gonna cut it up into 4s and use some as we go along. So I cut up this half into 4s, and I'm just gonna cut up the rest in 2s because you really don't need 2 4s. It's just like I said, I do stuff however I feel. Make your pasta however you normally make it. I have water with a little bit of a good amount of pink salt, and then you see it boiling up. When it boil back up again, and turn it down for like 10 minutes. And that's about it. Let's turn this on, heat it up. And we're gonna add some of the tomatoes to get started. Turn it down. Add some store-bought vegetable broth because I ran out of mine, so it's not going to taste as good. So that is what we use in place of oil. So let that get heated up. Alright, so we're gonna add this, start adding stuff. And we're gonna start. The tomatoes is what I use to, and the broth is what I use in place of oil. Turn it up a little bit more. Let's get started. So we basically stir frying the vegetables. Since the bell peppers are big, bigger than usual. You see another big one, we'll cut it. Hopefully the battery won't die on me again. You see this? You're stir frying it. You're stir frying it. I'm not doing the 1-1 business. I'm stir frying the whole thing. And so, all that going, you can start seasoning it. Like for me, You can use complete seasoning or seasoning salt or any of those things. I make my own so that it have everything that I like in there, and so that it can be a lot more healthier and tasty at the same time. And especially since I'm not using my broth, homemade broth, the store-made one is not as tasty. So it's a little bit past medium, turned up. We're going to keep stirring it, and we're going to cover it, and we're going to come back and stir it until it's cooked down. When it's cooked down, you see this get lighter too. The onion. So you're going to let it keep cooking. And like I said, I'm making it a little bit different today. Yep. We're getting there. Need some more broth. And the liquor tomatoes are mushy. The bigger ones I'm going to put in there towards the end. Look how small the mushrooms are getting. See that? They're cooked. They shrink down when they cook. These ones are, like I said, they were bigger. Bell peppers are just right. So we're going to turn this down. This is turned down. So that's what you're looking at right now. So I'm going to add a can of organic coconut milk. Check this out. Pop this out. Because I want the sauce to be a little bit thicker, I'm also gonna add, like, I measured it this time, like a cup of coconut milk from like a container, the cartridge that you can buy. So that's not the can one. That's, you know. Oh, and let me add my tomatoes now, what I had left over. I'm going to turn this up. Break this up first. that's cooking, but I'm using some vegan mozzarella cheese that I got from Aldi's. And it's ounces. I don't know if you can see that. So I'll mix that in and it will melt. When it's turned up, it will melt. I will be using nutritional yeast. So that looks right. I should have measured. So I'm adding better than bouillon. Good. I'm also adding jerk seasoning and I'm using the mild. It's bubbling. Let me turn it down a bit to medium because it was not high. You see the cheese is melting. You can see that it's melting. It's not like those other type. Taste it. Oh, it tastes good so far. So we're trying to get the cheese to melt. Turn it up. And we don't want it to be runny like that. So we're going to cook it until it thickens up. Look, I measure it this time. 1/2 cup more cheese. Everybody trying to move along the same there. Very cheesy. So it's thicker, but I'm gonna add some more jerk because just add as in taste as you go. That is ready. So let's do the taste. That's ready. And you know, see that? It's ready. So let's add it to the pasta, and that's it. Pour it on top. Let's mix it up. Let's take these out. I think I got all of them. Keep taking them out. Make sure the sauce at the bottom get to the top. I'm gonna use a spoon to take it out. Sure. But that is it. Let me put it on a plate and serve it up.